Alrighty guys, we're back for some Gruul Modified, and this is a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with a red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? First of all, this was a revisit request from the comments. So thank you so much for the request. It's gonna be a fun one. Exuberant Fuseling, we got all four of them. It's a 1 mana 0/1 with trample, and it gets +1/+0 for each oil counter on it. When Exuberant Fuseling enters the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on Exuberant Fuseling. It's not half bad, guys. It really isn't. Got 3 free from flesh here. It's a 1 mana, instant speed. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Put 2 oil counters on it. Well, that'll come in handy in here, huh? We also got Evolving Adaptive. It's a 1 mana 0/0. Enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. Evolving Adaptive gets +1/+1 for each oil counter on it. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than Evolving Adaptive, put an oil counter on Evolving Adaptive. Pretty powerful one drop, it really is. Speaking of powerful one drops, all 4 Kumano faces Kakkazan. Of course, it's going to fit that modified theme beautifully. Got 3 Bloodthirsty Adversary, and sometimes we want to consider this a 5-drop for that Adversary ability in here. We do have a fair bit of instant speed cards to pick up with that Adversary ability as well. Got all 3 Feldons. I'll tell you what, man, Feldon is an absolute powerhouse, and I think it's going to do great right now, just versing what I'm seeing in the meta, which is a lot of soldiers, a lot of mono red, a lot of Selesnya enchantments. Anything that has creatures, they really don't like to block Feldon. And in a deck like this, where we can modify Feldon or even use combat tricks like Free from Flesh, I think it's going to be really good in here. We got 3 Kami's Flare, excellent removal in a modified deck. It's going to be really easy to get that extra 2 damage to the opponent's face. Opting for Kami's Flare over something like Lightning Strike can be a little sketchy sometimes, but I don't know, man. Being able to pick up a creature and hit the opponent's face all for 1 card, I think it's going to be worth it. Got a single Gaea's Gift here. It's a 2 mana instant speed. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Nice, that modifies. It gains reach, okay, trample, hexproof, and indestructible until end of turn. So all the important things, right? Sometimes you need to block something out of the air, like if you're up against mono blue, for example, or it could be as simple as taking out like a Phoenix chick or something, I guess, if you really wanted to. The trample, where it's going to really come in handy. There's plenty of chump blockers in everyone's deck, so yeah, obviously trample is going to come in handy. Okay, getting close to the top end already. A Migloz Maze Crusher is a 3 mana 4/4, and it enters the battlefield with 5 oil counters on it. For 1, you can remove an oil counter from Migloz. It gains Vigilance and Menace until end of turn. For 2, remove 2 oil counters from Migloz. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And then for 3, remove 3 oil counters from Migloz, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Tell you what, dude, this card is very strong, and I think it really says something about the power level of Standard that Migloz doesn't really see play. Like that's insane to me, right? We don't see too much Gruul, I guess, in general, but I don't know, man. Migloz is insane. It's definitely going to be worth the 1 of in here. Got 4 Voldaren Thrillseekers, 3 mana, 1/1, backup of 2. So when it enters the battlefield, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. If that's another creature, it also gains the abilities printed below this one until end of turn. So what is the ability printed below? For 1 mana, you can sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to its power to any target. Yep, Thrillseeker is good, man. It's been an MVP in literally every list that I've played it in. It really knows how to get that extra damage to the opponent's face. The timing of that bottom ability is very important, and it's easy to keep track of, luckily. So we've got a couple Magmatic Sprinters here. This is a 3 mana 3/2 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, you put 2 oil counters on target artifact or creature you control. At the beginning of your end step, return Magmatic Sprinter to its owner's hand unless you remove 2 oil counters from it. So you can target itself if you need it to stick on the board for an extra turn, or even better, you can target like your adaptive and it gets those extra oil counters, which of course buffs it with the +1/+1s as well. Or Fuseling, extra trample damage through, stuff like that. Sprinter's going to be an interesting one to try out in here for sure. top end, 3 Thundering Raiju, of course. It's very powerful, huh? When you actually get to pull it off. There are some games where the opponent just has spot removal after spot removal, and so Raiju comes out alone, and then guess what? You get a little bit of damage through, opponent untaps, spot removal. It does happen from time to time, but Raiju is still, it's still a powerful creature that modifies. Speaking of powerful creatures that modify, Hallandale, huh? 4 mana, 2/3. Uh-oh, cut down, right? First strike, reach. It is legendary. Definitely going to be worth the one of in here because there's a lot of cool things that you can do with Hallandale and like Thrillseeker and stuff. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is Hallandale's power. That creature gains haste until the end of turn. Yeah, it's a powerful card. It's too bad that it doesn't see that much play. Again, it might just be because Gruul doesn't see too much play, but things like Cut Down really ruin these really cool 4-drops and stuff. So there's a lot of cool lines of play with Hallandale. It could be Hallandale's already on the board, and you could go like Thrillseeker, buff the Hallandale with the backup, right? And then put those extra counters. It'd be 4 +1/+1 counters back into the Thrillseeker, give it haste, swing in and then sacrifice it too, and then sacrifice the Hallandale. Like, think about all that extra damage. That's pretty insane, huh? Okay, the mana base, guys. We got a couple Rockfall Vales. I think sometimes it's going to slow down these early plays, and we're really looking at those first 2 turns. Like, we need to pull something off in the first 2 turns that is actually powerful, right? That's another reason to have all the hasty cards to play out after Kumano. So you go turn 1 Kumano, and we have 6 2-drop hasty creatures to play out after the fact, hopefully immediately getting 3 damage to the opponent's face. That's kind of the concept here. The first 2 turns are very important, so only a couple Vales. Trying out a Mirrex in this build as a way to mana fix, and I think it'll work fine, honestly. All the forests, all the gorge, right? Early red and early green is going to be important. Got a Who Endures in here and heavily leaning towards red, of course. Oh, Crucible of Defiance as well. Honorable mentions, guys. Monumental Facade did not make the list this time. I think it's going to hold back this particular list. I think when it comes to oil, Monumental Facade belongs in more of like the mid-range style oil, and it's very hard to pull off oil that is actually aggressive too, so I think it would hold us back this time around. Churning Reservoir, yep, we're trying to be aggressive, and just like having faster plays in a deck like this, Ozolith could have been a cool addition, right? Filigree Silex as like a 1 or 2 of actually could be pretty solid in here if we were running more cards that came out with a lot of oil, right? So more of the Migloz. There's the 4-drop that has double green that comes out with a bunch of oil counters too. It'd be really easy to get that bottom 10 oil counters, which we've pulled off multiple times on the channel. So keep your eye on Filigree Silex. Honestly, keep your eye on all the oil cards. They're so cool, they're so fun, and there's actually some hidden power there too that I think gets overlooked often. Urabrask's Forge would have been a cool addition. It's definitely great when you're playing up against like other control decks and stuff, but if you're up against a fellow aggro player, Urabrask's Forge can be a little slow and it doesn't help you block or anything like that. So not this time, but it's in the honorable mentions for a reason. Speaking of honorable mentions for a reason, cards that proliferate like Volt Charge and you can grab back from the grave off of the adversary ability, yeah, that sounds really good, huh? But I couldn't find room for it this time. Kodama given trample could be important. It's something to consider, right? And Doomscar Warrior I've really considered here too. I think in this particular deck, the Thundering Raiju is going to be more important. But this is one of those cards that I actually think is really powerful. Maybe it's just looking for the right home, huh? Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. The name of my deck was too long. That's pretty funny. It's because I typed out the revisit request and everything. So, what am I expecting from the build? You know, the last, well, probably somewhere in the middle, right? I think it can get the job done. I don't think we're going to get absolutely obliterated, but I'm also, oh, we go first here. Oh, this is a great hand. Oh, wow. This is a great hand, dude. If we can't win with this hand, then we're in trouble. Copperline Gorge, you know, potential turn 2 Kami's Flare that actually hits the opponent's face too, or worst comes to worst, we could see another 1-drop off the top as well and play the second Fuseling. Yeah, dude. Great hand. Thrillseeker on 3, right on time too. Like, we actually got the mana for it. Thrillseeker onto Fuseling's really good because Fuseling already has the trample and everything anyways, so. Opponent? Are you there, buddy? This is a good time to mention that we do have chapters. At the bottom of the video, there's chapters, or in the description, we have timestamps as well. Always keep an eye on the chapters, just in case, right? Sometimes we have, like, early concedes and stuff. I like to keep everything in, especially for just example hands and stuff, so... Yeah, we could easily see another 1-drop off the top and then go right into Fusing number 2. Okay, Forest. It's still going to be Fusing number 2 this turn, since I don't really want to keep Kami's Flare open. It doesn't look like a cut down, which is good news. Okay, right into Thrillseeker on time. We'll see if it would have been better to keep the Kami's Flare open, see what they play. Caves, oh. This might be Orzhov Control, guys. Orzhov Control looks really nasty. We gotta go for the damage. We got to, bro. Extra backup damage is pretty good. Well, it's gonna be +2, but we get to keep the creature, and then eventually Thrillseeker can sacrifice for the extra ping. Spot removal. Spot removal. Well, we still get the Fuseling to a 2-1. So if we would have targeted Thrillseeker, they obviously would have just hit the Thrillseeker with the go for the throat, but then we'd have 2 of the Fuselings at 2-1. Maybe that was the play. Maybe I probably could have played that out much better, huh? Celestis open. Probably means they're running cut down in the build. Alright, landed pretty easily there. Buff the Thrillseeker. So no cut down, that's good news. Well, I mean, hopefully it's not just a board wipe, right? Because they could go land Sunfall. Oh, they need something, bro. They really need something. No creatures to target with the Kami's Flare, which is, when I was going over the list, I said sometimes it's risky to play Kami's Flare. So this looks like it could be a Wandering Emperor, which Kami's Flare could help us get through anyways. We go Sprinter, target Fuseling, and then that buffs Fuseling, which might be a good target for them. This is a lot of power, just like in general. If it is Wandering Emperor, then Kami's Flare can hit that, luckily. Yeah, this is a lot to deal with, man. We still have the Thrillseeker ability open too, so... Okay, Wandering Emperor. Okay. So they want to take out... Which one? Which one do they want to hit? I don't even know. Because they're at 9, they're going back up to 11. We got 4 on Fuseling, 2 on Thrillseeker. We have the Thrillseeker ability. They definitely want to exile and gain. They hit Fuseling here. So it's still going to be 2 coming through with the Raiju. I mean, that's still going to do it. Yeah, GG opponent. We really put them in a tough spot. That was way too fast. It's like I said, if we couldn't win with that hand, then we're in trouble today. But no, that was a great hand. The Raiju off the top was terrific. I could have played it better. We knew that there was probably going to be some spot removal there, so targeting the Fuseling early on with the Thrillseeker was pretty risky. If I would have targeted Thrillseeker, they would have spot removed that, and we would have gotten the extra 2 through and kept the other Fuseling as well. And keeping Fuseling on the board against control is actually really important, as they end up removing other more powerful creatures, forgetting about our little Fuseling just continuously getting the buff and everything. So that was great, man. That was a great showcase of the deck for the first game. The opponent didn't look like they had too much land. But, I mean, they did have the 4. They had enough for the Emperor and everything. So, that was because of the Celestis ramp. They did gain a little life off of Celestis, too. Probably could have gone either way. I think the opponent needed probably another land for Sunfall. And then a Sunfall landing would have been super dangerous. Okay. Opponent goes first. It's a lot of land. But it's not bad. Tommy's Flare doesn't have any modified thing here. At least we have the 4 in hand for Raiju when it comes time. What do you guys think? It's not as good as the first hand, that's for sure. But I don't think it's a mulligan either. I think it's completely fine to keep. Oh, nice. Alright. I'll go Mountain in case that makes him play around like a Play with Fire or something. It might just be Thalia right away, though. Guardian, ew. Guardian's a pain in the butt, man. Ooh, another Thrillseeker, that's good. Alright. So, Indestructible. So we just play Adversary for the sake of playing a creature and using up our mana, right? Getting a creature down is important because we're going to want to target something with Thrillseeker next turn other than itself. Well, maybe. You know, I'm kind of overlooking the fact that it might just be best to target Thrillseeker in and of itself sometimes. So if we would have kept Kami's Flare open there, we would have been able to hit their 3-drop, potentially. If it's like an Adeline, then it doesn't land. Yeah, Adeline. So Kami's Flare. If we didn't play a creature, it wouldn't have been a Brutal Cathar anyways, so... At least if it is Adeline, we get to block the human, so that's not, you know, it kind of sort of works out. We go Thrillseeker onto Adversary. Oh, that would have been great turn 1. Now we're seeing stuff, man. We're seeing really good stuff. Like, Raiju next turn is so good. I think we can keep up pace. As scary as Adeline is, I really do believe we can keep up pace. Best case scenario for opponent is Brutal Cathar for Adversary, but then Kami's Flare. Kami's Flare. Brings it back. We won't have the 3 for the Adversary ability to do the Kami's Flare again, unfortunately. That would be really good, huh? Okay. So we're... Oh, Brushland. Okay. I was just going to say, we're seeing a lot more mono-white aggro that's just like generic aggro. It's not soldiers or anything like that, and it looks really good. But this is humans. They have green in here. Oh, man, what a turn for them. I'm over here like, yeah, we could keep up. Do we chump? Do we chump that Adeline, take 5? Dude, we're in trouble. We hit the 2-1, take 9, and at least that's a creature off their board. Raiju not doing too much here. I'm gonna take the creature off their board for now. I don't know. Probably chumping Adeline would be the best thing, but I don't know. It's tough. It's a toss-up for me. Getting the human off, well, the 4 green-white ability. They have 4 here, tapping the extra human. That would have been brutal, man, so I don't know. Might be, oh, double Kumanos could be good. So if we go Kami's Flare onto the Vanguard, we go, no, don't do that. We keep Adversary as a blocker for Adeline. And hopefully, again, like, this is a Brutal Cathar style deck easily. Take the 1 from the Painland here, unfortunately. If we go Thrillseeker next turn, and... Okay. We do have the mana to use the Thrillseeker ability quite successfully here. Take out the Adeline or something. They probably want to buff their board state with the counters. So like, okay, they definitely have the mana to use that bottom ability. They go 5 Guardian, Catilda tap, off Adeline. They want to do it after a swing though, and the adversary's blocking beautifully, so they can't necessarily swing into that. Wait, they can do this at instant speed though. The extra counters. Ooh, hi. 4 mana, 4/4 flying. Other permanents you control have hexproof, because why not? You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. Well, they give us the Adeline trade. That's good news, I guess. We're in trouble, though, guys. We really are. Positive here. Do they have enough mana for this? Oh, it's 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Catilda. Well, we still wanted to block, though, right? Because now Plaza's gone. Oh, crap. Guys, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, man. We go, oh, adaptive. We have 4 in the air. Wow, opponent. That deck looks awesome, dude. That looks awesome. They are down to 10. We go like Raiju swing. It's a 5. It's a 6. It's not enough. We go adaptive Thrillseeker. If adaptive comes down first, gets the counters here. Thrillseeker, same concept. The extra counters. We might be able to block, take out Sigarda in the air. If we leave the 1 open, right? Oh, there's some timing things that I should have gone over, guys. So what we want to end up doing is they want to swing. We block like the Adeline to take less damage, and then we activate Thrillseeker and take out the Sigarda. Unfortunately, if we don't take it out this turn, then they have that Sigarda ability. Yeah, this just isn't looking great for us at all. This has got to be the opponent's, man. Anyways, yeah, some weird timing instances here with like evolving adaptive and stuff that I really should have gone over when I went over the deck. So they get the extra 1/1 here. Okay, so what we end up doing, the versatility of Thrillseeker showing through for sure. Too bad we don't have like first strike or something. That would be crazy, man. So we block there. It doesn't have trample, right? We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to 2. We activate Thrillseeker, take out Sigarda so the hexproof comes off. Look at that. Pretty cool, man. Get a couple extra blockers on the ground here. Oh, Plaza of Heroes can activate again. And Aloran's Escape. Dude, opponent. This list looks awesome, man. Yeah, no, plus they found the second Plaza anyways, so it didn't really matter. GG. GG, opponent. That was awesome, dude. I can't even be mad at that. You really can't be. Whenever it's like it's nice, it's off meta for now. Oh my. It's off meta for now, right? So there's so many great ways to put Selesnya together. That was really cool, man. Got Selesnya enchantments looking powerful. I have a Selesnya mid-range build that I'm just sitting on, and honestly, it looks disgusting. It's based on like the mono white mid-range, but you know, now that mono white lost Bankbuster and stuff, it has like some green ramp thrown in there. It looks really good. It really does. I just didn't get a chance to make a video with it yet. It's a good hand, right? No turn 2, but like, I don't know if we can complain about this hand too much. Anyways, and then yeah, that like Selesnya humans, that looks really cool, man. I feel like Selesnya is in a great spot in general. I loved all the protection, like between the Coppercoat Vanguard and that Angel and the Plaza and the Aloran's Escape, they were prepared for spot removal, dude. That was crazy, actually. Alright, so there's so many 2-drops that we can see. Oh, Free From Flesh could be a cool thing to do on turn 2. So there's a thing, like now we can see any of our 1-drops and have some really cool plays. Slaughter Singer, okay. More mana, that's fine, that's fine. Now we have the 4 in hand for Raiju when it comes time. Free from Flesh is a pretty cool combat trick. Taking out Singer could be huge for us, man. They let it go, though. They definitely let it go, but what this ends up being is an extra 4 damage for 1 mana, and we do that because we have a chance of outpacing. Yeah, we do it. Plus the oil counters stick around. 5 damage, look at that. That's insane. And now it comes back down to a 3/3. Thrillseeker's good. Sprinter's pretty good, though, for the turn 2. But now that it's a 3/3, it's not getting buffed by much, so it depends. Oh yeah, Selesnya Toxic. I forgot to bring up Selesnya Toxic. Dude, Selesnya is in a great spot, man. For real. And they give Vigilance with the Homestead Courage. This would have been great last turn. I'm kind of drawing stuff out of order at that point. Thrillseeker's fine. Sprinter is fine. Can we keep up pace with the... Can we keep up pace with the Toxic? We swing with Sprinter this turn too. There's a chance, and I would not put this past Selesnya Toxic at all. There's a chance that we might die next turn. We have 3 Toxic already. They can drop another green source or something, play second Rot Priest. They have 2 mana open. Okay, they're down to 7. Sprinter comes back to hand. Raiju might be able to close this up next turn if they full swing. Forest. Okay, it's not a second Rot Priest. That's good news. I'm trying to think like what they could have had. If a second Rot Priest hit, they had 3 on the board up to 6, and then they would need to target twice. And they had 2 mana open, so it would be Homestead Courage and like protection from hand. So yeah, technically I think they could have won if they saw the right cards. So Chump Blocker unfortunately saves them from the Raiju. Well, what it ends up doing... Okay, hold on. Oh wow, Thrillseeker ability, guys. Thrillseeker. I'm not even gonna give him a swing. We go Thrillseeker. This is insane, dude. This is insane. Thrillseeker. Dude, every time I play with Thrillseeker, every time, they need... Oh, they could have Tamiyo's Safekeeping, though. That's a card that exists in Selesnya Toxic. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's not. It's not. So it's extra. We go up to 8 to take out the Thrillseeker. GG. Yeah, be careful, man. Tamiyo's Safekeeping would have gained them too. But still, look at the power of Thrillseeker. Wow. Oh, buddy. Every time I play with that card, man, it's so much better than you would ever expect. They're like, yeah, I guess there's some games where it's just like chilling as a 1/1, like against the Selesnya humans that we just went up against. But like, dude, what made that so good too is like the combo with the oil. Like we were able to buff that creature so high. Like getting it to a 5/5 that early on is already insane enough. Like imagine if they didn't have a blocker. We would have been able to swing for 7 damage. And then activate the Thrillseeker ability for another 7 damage, all on turn 4, 14 damage. Like, of course, they had the Chump Blocker, but it's definitely something to think about, man. Rockfall Vale slows this hand down pretty good, man. We might want to take the... Oh, opponent goes first, though. We could draw. This is good. This is fine. Because we still have turn 1 plays with Kumano if we wanted to. And worst comes to worst, if we don't see an untapped land, we could always... Depending on what the opponent plays, of course, go Rockfall Vale and set up for a better turn 2 here. Or just go right into Feldon or something. Then turn 3, you know, no guarantee of seeing a 3rd mana for Thrillseeker. We could go Kumano Adaptive. We're drawing at that point. Good hand, man. I think it's fine. But yeah, the Rockfall Vale slows us down, but I think this is good. Opponent, are you there, buddy? I guess this is a good time to bring up again that we do have chapters. You never know when the opponents just like aren't there, and so, but I do like to keep the sample hands. There they are. Hi, opponent. Oh, more Selesnya? What's going on, dude? All right, we see the untapped land, which means turn 1 Kumano, turn 2 Feldon. Looks great. This looks great. Selesnya enchantment. So we're seeing all the Selesnya. Selesnya humans, Selesnya toxic, Selesnya enchantments. That's really funny, dude. Right after I said it's in a great spot. It is. It is. I mean, look at this, dude. They don't even care about Feldon. They got lifelink from Naturalist, and they're going to probably spam out some removal next turn. Buff everything with Visitor, swing with Naturalist. We need answers. We need removal off the top and fast, dude. Kami's lair is only a 3 of in here. Spirited Companion first, see if they find the removal they're searching for, right? Oh, it's not going to be ossification. That's good news. Yeah, no basics. Back up to 18. Thrillseeker into Feldon, still pretty good, man. Can't block, but like taking 5. Could just spam out some 1-drops of our own, huh? That's a possibility for the turn. Adaptive, Kumano, Fuseling. Swing for 3 first. Swing for all first? Can we keep up pace with the lifelink? Probably not. I think we gotta be reckless to win this one, guys. We don't have removal for Naturalist. Yeah, they look at the Naturalist like, yeah, that's holding the glue together. Or that's holding it together. Holding the glue together. You know what? Let's go. Yeah, everything. Everything. All of our 1-drops. Because next turn, and here's what I mean with timing with the adaptive. Kumano says it enters with the +1/+1 counter. And so since it enters with, that will work with the adaptive's ability. So this will enter as a 2/2. However, like for the backup, it says when the creature enters. So that like putting the backup onto Thrillseeker being a 3/3 would not work. So the only time it works with the adaptive is if it says it enters with it, with like the Kumano ability, right? So that will work. And honestly, land off the top would be huge for us, man. Swing for 3. If they flip this, they don't have the lifelink on it, because that is lifelink indestructible as long as you control at least 3 other enchantments. They control 2. So we chump, let it take 3. If we chump, well, they're going back up to 15. They have 1 blocker here. Kumano drops. They have a blocker there then. We go adaptive, the Fuseling goes up to a 2/1 trample. I'm sorry, opponent, I'm thinking, buddy. There's 3 others. So it's just a 4/4. We let them have it. There's still 2 blockers on the ground. I like that emote. We go, yeah, best case scenario would be land off the top. A chump block here just doesn't seem great. We're going to keep it. We're going to let them flip the Invasion of Theros. Again, I think that right now, the setup we have, we don't have removal for Naturalist. So we just need to go. We need to, like, risk it. Spreading it out here is probably best case. Going on Naturalist is good, too. They know we're playing red, so, like, playing around a Lightning Strike or something's really good. Okay, land. How do we want to do this? If we go buff Feldon, get it to 5, we have the land open, we full swing. I think we're at 13. So it enters, so we buff the adaptive, see? So that's like all that weird timing stuff that I was talking about. Buff Feldon. Okay, we also have the Thrillseeker ability here. How scary is this, man? I'm really liking the deck so far. They have lethal on board, right? No, they don't. Well, they probably do. They play it Audacity. Yeah. With the Audacity in hand. Feldon can't block anyways, but we can still keep some chump blockers back. If we go full swing, and they block 2 of the 2/2s, then 3 gets through, 8 gets through, sacrifice Feldon, that's another 5. Man, the lifelink on Naturalist, huh? Oh, Thrillseeker can't attack this turn. So it's just Feldon, keep a bunch of blockers. And then we're going to sacrifice Feldon. And do 5 to face or take out Naturalist. Probably take out Naturalist at that point. As lame as it is, that's best case. Fuseling gets the buff. Naturalist is out of there. And it's exiled too, man. That would work great. I mean, obviously, Etching works well with Kami of Transience, but still. We might be able to get there. They don't have lifelink. They need 2 more for the Ever Sheltering. Welp. Well, they got the 2 more. Audacity onto the Ever Sheltering, and now it has Indestructible too, doesn't it? Oh no, and they draw too. Man, this Selesnya enchantment stuff looks super scary, but guys, we had some serious damage. If I would have chumped, if I didn't let them get this, maybe that was the game, wasn't it? If I didn't let them flip this, we would have lost Fuseling or Adaptive. I guess it wouldn't have mattered. No, probably Adaptive. That would have buffed the Fuseling. Yeah, I think this is my fault, guys. Well, I think it would have been uphill either way, because like they still had a lot of great stuff. All right, we take 8. They go back up to 17. Oh man, Kumano flips. Thrillseeker is gonna buff. Let's see. We still have Thrillseeker ability too. So, I mean, we're gonna swing because we're dead next turn. This has trample too, and the Indestructible makes it so that way if we chump, like we'd have to like full block, and that sounds pretty lame to me. So let's go Adaptive. And we'll go for the full swing. Pretty cool, man. Like, we really know how to plug damage through. I'll tell you what. And it's probably all thanks to Thrillseeker. It probably is. Thrillseeker paired with Feldon's pretty insane. Okay, back up to 20 because lifelink. We can actually sacrifice this. And then they don't gain the 3, but it's actually more effective to just to use the adaptive ability here. We can actually take out the Jukai, but we're just gonna hit base. It's a GG's, guys. It is. It's fine. Oh, if we would have used that ability, then the Fuseling would have actually been buffed too. They wouldn't have taken the 3. The Fuseling would have gotten a buff. Huh. A lot to think about here, guys. Good game, opponent. There's their ossification. When I put my Selesnya enchantments list together, when I was going over the deck, I talked about how ossification, if the game really wants to punish you, it will. And so, like, I ran as many basics as possible, and who knows, the opponent might be running as many basics as possible too. I think I had 1 farmland, and it looks like they only have 1 farmland on the board for now. Letting them play this out. Let's see, since it's Selesnya enchantments, we'll give him the cry. Yeah, dude, lifelink's hard to get around, but honestly, maybe my chump to not let them flip the invasion was the match breaker there. Because even though they didn't have the 3, it's so easy for Selesnya enchantments to get the other 3. So, I don't know. I probably should have chumped. And then a full swing would have been a little bit better on our turn. Then they would have had to actually take a turn to flip the invasion. They were still going to have it as a blocker, though, with lifelink, so I don't know, man. Let's try to get 1 more in, huh? I'm having a good time. It's fast and effective, and hopefully we don't go up against a Selesnya variant, right? Watch, now we'll go up against Selesnya midrange, even though we really don't see that. But since I talked about it earlier, maybe we'll see it now. Alright, opponent goes first here. We have early green, Feldon. Wow. Great hand, dude. The deck has been giving me great hands. There is nothing to complain about here, unless that's a cut down. Then I complain a little bit about the existence of cut down. Not the hand, though. The hand is beautiful. Oh, they figure there's going to be better targets. Mirrex, nice. And the opponent would be correct. There are better targets for cut down in here. We gotta try the Feldon though, right? Still buffs the adaptive once it lands. Not running blue, so it's not getting countered. Yeah, it still buffs the adaptive, so it's worthwhile. And then we swing for 2. So another thing with timing in the adaptive, so the Bloodthirsty Adversary, when it enters the battlefield, you can pay 2 and a red. So the +1/+1 counters go onto it after it enters. So if you're banking on the counter to buff the adaptive, don't. It won't work. Okay, Trespasser, ditch Mirrex, take out Trespasser with Kami's Flare. It's a good piece of removal, but honestly, Free from Flesh is much better here. And then keep Kami's Flare open, maybe. We go Free from Flesh. It's an extra 4 damage for the turn. Kami's Flare, we stick to the plan. Stick to the plan, right? Bro, we know how... Oh, what am I doing? Oh my goodness, that could have been bad. Ditch the Mirrex. Well, Maze Crusher, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. That's tough. That's a tough decision. We're trying to think how to get the most damage through, but ditching the Mirrex means we're an extra land away from the adversary ability. Well, now we're going to want to go adversary into Liliana, make sure that's off the board. Because we don't want to discard. Unfortunately, just chilling with 1 open mana, so ditching the Mirrex wouldn't have done too much. Like, ditching the Migloz over the Mirrex wouldn't have done too much there. March, gain 2, back up to 13. This is anyone's game, dude. This is definitely, like, this is one of those games. I hope we don't go into, like, a Liliana lockdown state here, because we might. Not being able to play multiple creatures on the same turn means, okay, whew. Liliana number 2 would have been gross. Oh, they go for the buff, but Maze Crusher has that ability with Menace. We might just want to do it. With the Free from Flesh for the turn 2 for an extra 2. 6 damage on the Maze Crusher abilities, or Free from Flesh and go Kumano. Probably keep Free from Flesh for a Liliana play. No, they definitely sacrifice. We go as much damage as we can while we can, guys. I think that's the best bet. And then get the Kumano down. And a land off the top would be huge for us. Opponent's down to 6. Technically, if they don't have removal for Maze Crusher, it could wrap up the game. But, I mean, okay, Shieldred. They have double block for it now. Double block for Maze Crusher. Okay, like I said, land off the top would have been huge, because we would have just sent the Migloz to their face. But that's fine too, right? We go Menace, and then buff, we could take out the Shieldred. Kumano flips next turn. We might just want to play the long game here. They gain 2. Vigilance Menace is good, and then we can buff again. 6/6. Sleeper survives, Shieldred trades. We played the long game. Thrillseeker is really good, man. When they're this low, Thrillseeker is really good. Kumano flips next turn, and we might actually be able to find a land for the Hallandal too. But honestly, land would mean probably Maze Crusher ability and Voldaren Thrillseeker, right? If they target our hand, if they do anything but the bottom ability, then it's golden for us, man. They want to go bottom ability, grab. Oh. Life gain off of Trespasser. Brings them back up to 9. They have more blockers. Dude, this is scary, man. Mono black mid-range still looking great. Kumano is fine. We gotta think, man. We gotta think. We have 4 on the Thrillseeker. If we go Maze Crusher, double block is easy. If we don't win now, okay, we have 1 here. We might have to buff the Migloz, though. We want to force the double block on this. Thrillseeker ability, Etching might actually slip through. Without a lot of other plays, we can't just, like, let the opponent... We can't just let them go. We can't not attack here. If we give Mono Black mid-range another turn, then this is looking very bad. So let's see what they do here. Okay, Etching is out of here. They need to double block. Or going through. We'll make sure to take out Trespasser. Or going through with Thrillseeker. Yep, that's fine. No life gain from them, so that's it. We go to their face. And Kumano. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. Ah, buddy, we gotta talk about this deck. Oh, man. What a time, dude. What a time. Well. Oh, guys. Wait, first of all. Oh, nice. I have yet to play with this card. It's definitely a build-around card that I don't really know what to do with, so if you guys got any suggestions for the Dig Site Mentor for Standard, let me know. Anyways, let's see here. Let's crack a pack, too. Why not? Dominaria. I don't know if I have everything. Oh, I have everything in Dominaria. I'm not surprised. Dominaria is like one of my favorite sets in Standard right now. If not my favorite, or was my favorite. Don't really know. Okay, okay. Gruul Modified, dude. How good was this? I'm surprised, man. This did a thing. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. We're playing with a lot of powerful cards here. Between Kumano, Feldon, and Adversary, those are all really solid already. Thrillseeker's just criminally underplayed. How ridiculous was this today, dude? Seriously. I mean, like, seriously. Like, it probably belongs in mono red somewhere, maybe as like a 2 of. I think in a lot of cases, mono red is solved and is powerful and is good. But there might still be some room for improvement depending on where the meta ends up landing. Thrillseeker might be the job, dude. It might be the card that gets the job done. I'm keeping my eye on it for sure. It's like I said when I was going over the list, every single time I played with Thrillseeker, it was an MVP, and it just plugs the extra damage in. Dude, yeah, keep your eye on this card for sure. Raiju was great. Halana didn't get to see anything today, but I still think it might be worth the 1 of. But you know what? Going up a second Migloz could be fine too. It is legendary, and you don't always want to see it because you're trying to be a little fast, and for some reason, a 3-mana 4/4 isn't fast enough for the current meta. So I could see dropping Halana for the 4th Kami's Flare, or dropping a Kami's Flare into Halana and going up a couple of Lightning Strikes too, making sure you can always hit the opponent's face, even if they're playing control builds, right? A lot of control builds still run Planeswalkers, though, like Wandering Emperor, so at least you'll still have that target, right? Didn't get to see Gaia's Gift do a thing, but the Trample especially would have come in handy today, too, right? So, overall, I think the deck really did a thing. I think the mana base was fine, too. Didn't really hold us up at all. Fuseling and Adaptive are great 1-drops. Fuseling might be a little underpowered in some cases, so that's something to think about for sure. I don't exactly know. If we drop a couple Fuselings, I don't exactly know what we'd want to do. If you take out any of the cards that like get super buffed from Free From Flesh, then Free From Flesh gets a lot weaker all of a sudden. Magmatic Sprinter was pretty good. And same concept, dude. If you get rid of any of these 1-drops, then Magmatic Sprinter gets a lot weaker. So I would keep all 8 of them, honestly. Really liked this list, man. Had a good time. Now, I keep forgetting to bring it up, but I finally got into the early access, guys, and it's Lord of the Rings, and I'm really excited, but it's not a standard set, so I don't exactly know. I'm kind of recording this way ahead of time because on Thursday I'm gonna try to get at least like 3 videos done. Unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna be outside of standard. So I don't know when you're seeing this video, but hi. It's probably after I put up some Lord of the Rings videos. It's probably literally next week is when you'll be seeing this. So I really like this though. I'm like I bring that up because I'm excited to share this list with everybody, and yeah, I like this. This is fun. I'm just looking at it. It's a relatively clean list too. There's something a little funny about looking at all the 3-ofs right here. But yeah. Either way, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.